I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Keep that shit coming. I like that a lot. Let's get it. Shake it like understand who I is. Not that many gon' do it like this. Bob your head, we can hear my shit, but I'm on my shit. I ain't has no chill. I'm who I are, I'm who I is. Taylor Susan, I play the part. Fuck a fire, how you mesmerize. Black Austin Pies, man, that I'm stupid. Then again, oh so clever.
Welcome back to an episode of The Dating Game. I am your host, Sean, sitting in the commander's chair. We have actually one new person tonight. To my left, we're gonna get that in a moment. Thanks again for watching, tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the subscribe button now. If you haven't, hit the like button on the way in, and make sure you hit the bell so you know when we go live. So before I do anything further, we're gonna jump into our intros. Once again, I'm Sean, your host. I'm 41, still single. No one wanted to husband me up just yet. But we're working on that. And as you guys know, this is my side hustle. But I've got many other side hustles going as well, but also work for the government. And that's all I got for you today. Oh, also, my dad just started his own YouTube channel. So if you guys can be super cool, go ahead and look for Finances with Uncle Ned. If you guys want to learn how to handle your finances, and especially in these times right now, we got inflation, shrinkflation, all the kind of inflations going on, and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you definitely want to check them out. Once again, that's Finances with Uncle Nev. Give them a subscribe and also hit that like button and bell when you check them out. Thanks. To my left, we have.
Hey guys, my name's Misha. My real name's Maisha, but call me Mish. I'm 34 years old, single. You know, situationships are out there, but we've all had those. Yeah, I am Air Force combat medic.
Medic!
Veteran. Yeah, medic. Air Force. Hey, it's Air Force, right? That's what they call us. I also work for the government. I work for Department of State right now. Own a business in Florida, a food truck and catering company, but I can't take the credit for it. My sister, Chef Mo. Follow Taste Buds by Chef Mo. Facebook, Instagram. Follow us. She was on Chef Boot Camp. All right, season 2, I think, episode 2. Either way, Chef Mo. Taste Buds by Chef Mo. Follow us on Facebook. But I'm very proud of her. But it's not even my side hustle. I just keep us legal. Happy to be here. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's go.
I'm Renee. You guys have seen me before. I live in the single-ish world too. You know, there's things out there, but I don't really have anything to push today. But I will be here to talk with everybody. I'm 38 as well, so getting up there in age.
Almost that big 40.
It's right around the corner.
Any big plans for it?
I want to do something, but will I? Probably not, because usually, like week of the birthday, I'm like, I'll just stay home.
You can do a cartwheel.
I don't know that I could even do that. No, I wake up and my knees hurt now. I'm like, oh.
Wait to hit 40. All right.
I'm Ashley. I'm 34 and I'm married.
Cutesy. We like that.
Okay. Ashley, 34, married. Apparently someone just subscribed, apparently.
I got people speaking.
Judy Woods.
Oh, Judy, what's up, girl?
Hi, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
Thanks. Yeah, so thanks, Judy, for subscribing. We really appreciate it. If you got anyone else to subscribe, we like that as well. I'm sorry, back to Ashley. That was a very quick intro. We need something better than that.
I mean, I don't do anything other than, work, hang out with my wife, our cats.
Okay. Certified cat lady.
What's
Yeah.
your cat's name again? What was your cat's name again?
I
She
have
has
4.
cats,
That was
man.
your favorite cat, I think. Two Chains.
Yeah, Two Chains is mine. Yeah. He's my oldest.
Yeah. Oh, oldest. That's what.
Yeah.
I was like, how did I forget that name? I don't.
All right. So, we're going to jump into these questions tonight. And our first question of the night: what is the part of the body, for male or female, whatever you're attracted to, that attracts you the most? Go ahead, Mish. Should the new one tonight? Yeah.
Okay. That attracts me the most. Like when they're like clothed or naked. Which part?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
Good question.
Okay. One, eyes. I go quick, man. Your
Thousand
eyes
miles.
could just make me weak, right? All right. The other part. Mm. Inside of the thigh. To me, that's sexy. I don't know what it is. It turns me on.
Like a
Attracts me.
good inside thigh. Huh?
Like,
Oh, you gotta move a little
oh, I
bit.
need to go up here. Hey, you guys, I gotta get closer to the mic. But eyes. Whoa, this is like in my face. Eyes and inside of the thigh.
Okay.
That attracts me.
What is it about the inside of the thigh that does it for you?
You know, I think because
Is it like a light kiss, light bite, or is it just like a touch?
both.
Okay.
And I think if you're there, they're vulnerable, and it's nice.
That's a great way to
Is that
say it.
so bad?
Vulnerable.
No, not at all.
Okay. But yes, it's they're vulnerable at that
Yeah.
point, and it's something that's like inviting.
I like that. That's a great.
He's like, gotcha.
You're that close. You're already there. I'll go next. So I always say smile. So like
Ooh.
a smile, first thing, like if you have a great smile, I'm like, okay, now I want to talk and know more about you. We can laugh together. That's always. I'm gonna be lame and go, yeah, comedy like is always the thing that draws me in. So if you got a nice smile and you can tell me some jokes and make me smile, then I'm like, oh. But I'd say the next thing is arms. Arms for me on a guy. I don't know what it is.
Do you want to be like ripped?
Like it doesn't have to be like when you hold me and I feel like the arms.
Wait, like, so what about the arms? Like,
And I'll touch arms. I don't know what it is. If I just feel an arm or even like short sleeve, I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
so like arms, I like. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Arms and thighs. What's up, girl? What you got?
I would have to say I love a nice back and shoulders. Like
Okay. Yeah.
just a nice, strong, even they don't even have to be like super muscular. Like my wife is constantly like she has full body strength. So when we went looking at dresses, like everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, her back." And it was like, yeah, it looks so perfect and good in a dress, but also like under a shirt. Like it's not too much. It's just there and it just lets you know this person is strong,
Yeah.
you know?
I can't lie. When I go to the gym, I always see all the people with their backs out and they're like super ripped. And I'm like, I want to be like that one day. Envious.
Okay. Well, since you guys already said two of my favorites, which are the eyes and smile, I'm gonna go with their voice. I'm big on voices, and I love an accent. Only certain accents, though.
Can I hear a bad one?
No,
And a good one?
no, I'm not doing accents.
Okay.
No, where they're from.
Yeah.
Want to alienate the viewers. Usually like a British accent I do find attractive. An Australian accent I find attractive. And
Russian.
That's what I thought he was gonna say. I thought that was gonna be the first thing.
but you know what? I've been to Colombia twice recently.
Ah.
Yeah, they got me. I'm be like, take all of it.
Take everything.
Exactly. They're like, Papacito. You need me 3 houses.
There's affairs in the Spanish club. He's gone.
So an accent can really do it for me, and a tone of voice too. Because if you have like a really sweet tone of voice, that paired with an accent, oh man, I'm jelly.
Not to interrupt, but I don't know if anyone saw the video of this lady at one of the pop the balloon things. She picks up the mic and they ask her name. Balloons popped instantly. I was like, dang.
What's she sound like?
She sounded too masculine. That's exactly what they said. They were like, you just sound too masculine for me. And she was like, well, you just gotta get to know me. It's like,
And was that
Don't-
sexy when she said you just got to get to know me?
the way she said it, yeah, she tried to do the like turn on thing. Like, you might have popped your balloon, but you can get your balloon back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like
But
Oh, thanks.
no, they didn't ask for the balloon back.
Fine.
But that's what when you said voice, I thought about her and was like, dang.
And close off, but booty.
I feel like that's most guys.
Yeah, it's like, especially in my height.
And that is why
Get
the
the
shorter girls
perfect height for the ass.
And, you know, a little hi, how you doing? Hello.
Good morning.
Oh, you shake hands in
Good
the
evening, good afternoon, good night. Salutations.
Love it.
Yeah, a nice butt does it for me too. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Are you rethinking your back?
No, I was just thinking clothes off. I would probably say like neck and décolletage.
Oh,
What is
Is
your
touch here?
This part up here.
That's chest close.
it is just
Well,
too. Cleavage?
whatever.
Is that no?
No, that's not cleavage
That's
yet.
too low.
Yeah, like
Okay.
décolletage is like
Where your neck was.
yeah, like this
yeah.
area.
Where you clutch the pearls.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty sexy, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So we've had an icebreaker question. Make sure you guys drop in the comments what you find most attractive in the opposite sex, or whoever you find attractive. Let us know. Especially your friend, if you're still watching, go ahead and drop us in the comments. Let know what you find most attractive. All right. So I'm bringing back an old question. Kind of love this question. Ladies and gentlemen, you get to be the opposite sex for 24 hours. What are you doing? What are you doing in those 24 hours as the opposite sex?
I have to go first.
Yeah, you're to my left.
Wow. I don't know, man. I just whip it out. I just want to walk around.
That's where
naked.
everybody's mind first goes.
I-
It's like I just gotta know how it feels to be.
Yeah, like I want to be naked for a little bit, see what it feels like.
Drafty.
I think I just whip it out. Let me go to a new beach real quick and just like fuck it up.
You know,
It's not flashing.
Okay, I'll whip it out another country. I'm taking a flight and I am whipping it out. New beach in Europe.
That's it. Just gonna whip it out.
Whip the fuck out.
You don't want to take it for a spin?
Nah. She right. Like, I don't know. It's gotta be right. I don't know. I think I just be like, whoa, there's that, and it's gross. I think it's gonna be disgusting, and I'm just gonna go to Europe and whip it out. And if I get to use it, cool.
Right.
If I don't, thank God.
Now we had people before, women before on the show. They said they want to do the helicopter with it or the whole back.
Find out. I mean, I don't expect you to stand there. Yeah, you got a helicopter. Oh man,
It's your turn now.
that also would have been my first thing, but like I've got to try on different clothes. I've got to see how this feels because I don't understand the gray sweatpants that are super tight, like where you got no room to breathe. And I'm like, I gotta know why that is. Like why are your pants so tight?
You want to see if you got the print?
I don't even want to see it from the print. I just want to know how it feels to have. Like, is it not uncomfortable? Because it looks uncomfortable. I don't know, but
How many sweatpants are you looking at?
you can't miss it. Like, when they walk into a Walmart, you can't really miss it when their pants are super tight. And then I ride the metro now. People are.
Dicks everywhere, huh?
You make it seem like I've been looking. No, it's just.
Kind of sounds like you have.
I see more people than normal, and most of the time they're dressed down, so it's just like sweatpants are normal.
Okay.
But I am also from New York, so I've seen a lot of people in ridiculous pants that are too tight, and it's like the one thing I hate the most is the really tight pants that are way down, where I can see all of your boxers. I don't understand. I just want to know what that feels like from a guy's perspective. Why do you like that? Like, why is that cool? Why does that feel good? Doesn't I don't know. That's what I would do.
Maybe it's a little bit like when you have like a low cut top and you can feel your breasts sort of heaving out of your shirt. They're not quite there, but they're there. Maybe for them, they're like, yes, I get to be lusty. They have to do it like lower down.
that might be what
Because
the
when men like have too many buttons on mine, it's like, fix that, button that up. But maybe for them, it's their opportunity to feel like, a soft, attractive being.
I don't understand
I
that.
don't get
I don't understand. That might be true.
that.
I just don't understand why it would be. Like, in my opinion, like it's still gotta be uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah, sure.
No, I just want to know like how you dress, what it feels like to dress like a guy and have the male body parts, sleeves like not fitting in your shirt, stuff like that. I just want to know what that's like because I'm very much like when I see somebody and what they're wearing, I start to ask questions. I'm like, why would you wear that with that? And like, are you comfortable? Are you cool? I dress for comfort, just to clarify. So that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna wear that if I'm not comfortable. Why is he wearing that? He's definitely not comfortable. Just wear my mouth.
I see what I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it's weird. That's what I thought first.
Now, you going commando or
Oh, all
You
day.
would have to. Like, I don't understand what tidy whities. That can't be comfortable. I'm like, don't understand it. It's tight and it looks tight and restrictive. I'm not attracted to that either. If I see a guy in tidy whities, I'm like, oh, this is weird.
that's a game floor for you?
Yeah, it's just
You're all about to get into the mood, right?
no.
You're over his house and everything's going good, and you pull off your pants, and then bam, Hanes.
I would hope I
No,
know
no.
before we get that far. I don't know. I would hope that I know. Because at that moment, I don't want to be like, hey, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I just
You'd
want
really end it.
You would
it
be
makes
done
me
right
feel
there.
uncomfortable. Like
Why?
I don't know what it is.
But you're already like there though.
You like him. You're kissing
If
him.
I didn't see him in them, probably
No, you see him
it's
in
a
them.
it's total turn off. Like my brain.
Wow.
End it after.
I don't think I would end it. I
You
just
would
don't
end
know
it.
what I would. Yeah, I would
You'd be
probably.
done.
I don't want to say that I would, but yeah, I probably would. It's just uncomfortable. I just feel like you know what it reminds me of. I watch a lot of TV. Malcolm in the Middle. His dad was always in tidy whities.
Yes, that is cringe.
Yes.
And I'm like, there's nothing attractive about it. Like, it can't be comfortable in my mind. And like, why? Why are you wearing them? Boxer briefs are fine because they're just not as tight and restrictive. Boxers are fine. Like everything else is fine except for tidy whities.
Okay.
Don't know why.
I feel like she likes tidy whities.
No, when I was with men,
But your facial expression when you
one time,
She likes
I mean,
tiny.
like I get it. The underwear does make or break it, you know?
Yeah.
Like one time I went to this urban male review and basically it was just like black men stripping. It kind of felt like they went into like a 7-Eleven and said, "Hey, all the black men here, do you want to make some money?" And then like just show your junk to every woman
And
in
that's what
this
some-
one area. And they were like, "Yeah." It was like so sketchy. But anyways, this guy, he got up there to do some sort of like 50 Shades of Grey situation. His boxer briefs were so stretched out and worn and old. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I mean, I really was like going to like male reviews as sort of a spectacle more than like, oh, I'm enjoying this. But it
Yeah.
was just like, you didn't put on some fresh underwear for this? Like, you didn't think that through.
They just
Okay.
pulled over and picked him up. He had no time.
Right. They're like, get in. Yeah.
And he's like, as I'm sitting here with my white tighties on.
Busted. Sorry,
Busted.
Sean.
I stopped wearing white tie-ways back in elementary school. I think it was. They are
Part
restricted.
of it. That's part of it, though. You think of kids wearing tidy whities because they get the superhero, whatever. Like
It does feel juvenile.
that's
It
that's
feels
the word.
buttoned up. It feels fresh, and it feels like I'm new to like in
I
a
know-
good way, but it feels like I'm green, like I'm new to this
Yeah.
world. I'm a virgin, maybe even
Yeah,
like
too angelic feeling.
yeah, yeah.
These words are awesome, guys. Thank you. Can I get some definitions?
Wholesome.
And okay. I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah, like I stopped wearing back in elementary school. I did try one day in elementary school going commando. Did not like it. Too much friction going on. I don't recommend. I don't know if you guys.
Most guys wear jeans, so I can't imagine that.
It was a lot of friction. It wasn't good. So from then on, I always wore boxers, and that kind of graduated into like boxer briefs, like when I'm wearing like dress pants, something like that. Because you gotta keep things kind of like in one place a little bit, not moving around a bit, much, whatever, a lot.
All of that is why I would try men's clothes. Like I just want to know the feelings. Like what's uncomfortable.
It's not put it on.
It's not the same. I don't have anything hanging, so it's not gonna feel the same.
It's a meme, and I'm sure all the guys out there, they're gonna know this because there's something that we all go through. And the meme is you see these steps in the snow, and it's just a constant set of steps, and all of a sudden you see one step is further out to the right or to the left, and it comes right back in. Any idea what's happening with that?
Wait, Sorry, I think I
Yeah,
zoned
I
out for a
my brain
second.
was working.
All right, so you're walking, you see these steps in the snow, right?
Okay.
And it's just, we'll just say it's like 6, sets of steps.
Mhm.
And on that 7th set, one leg is like out double the space.
So it's his
1 foot
junk.
rather. But it comes back in on the next step.
Oh, he had to
Chafe
adjust
it?
himself.
She got it. Yeah.
Ah.
It happens. Stuff gets stuck.
Okay. I was like,
If you see a guy walking the street, goes out to the side.
I'm thinking I didn't put 2 and 2. I've seen that. I just
Yeah.
didn't
I
know
just
what was
thought
happening.
like he fell in the snow and it was
Really?
supposed to be like maybe really big and then like extended out to look like I don't know. Actually, I don't know where I was going with that.
Think about that again.
Nope, that's a man adjusting himself. So now you know.
Well,
See, that's the
anyways,
other thing.
that's crazy.
Men have to adjust themselves all day. I mean, we do to a certain extent, but not the same way. Like we've got bras and like we get wedgies. Everybody gets wedgies though, but
I don't.
that's because you have boxers. It's a little different. I guess it is different. But if you had tidy whities on, you would be there all day. Right. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, I
Well,
lost track.
boy shorts.
Boy shorts are comfortable.
Okay.
I feel like
Why
I don't know if this
boy shorts. Is there an actual name for them?
boy shorts. Yeah.
Oh.
They also make boxers for women now, which
They
like, it's more common.
do.
I got some on right now.
Yeah, I buy them.
I mean,
they're
if it
so
was not,
comfortable.
Yeah.
if it was inappropriate, I would show you. But
That's
they come
late
right
night
here.
after hours for that.
Those are so comfortable to
They
sleep
are
in.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't adjusted myself. Right?
You don't have to adjust with boxers.
They're black.
And the girl boxers are like perfect. They're not like they're not the same as the guy boxers because like I feel like most girls have bought guy boxers before just to sleep in or like
You have guy boxers?
yeah, just I use them for sleep shorts because they're comfortable. But
Now, did you buy them or you just kind of stole them?
no,
She
Did you
stole
acquire
them. She
them?
stole
you mean I have to buy them now? I'm single-ish, so I don't have anybody give me any. But in the past, I stole them. That's how I knew they were comfortable. But yeah,
Why is women still in men's clothes? I can't stand that. It bothers
because a
me.
lot of your clothes is more comfortable and it smells like you guys. I should have said smell before, like when we were talking about things
Well,
that
smells big. I mean,
it is huge. Yeah, yeah. If you have the right cologne, that's another.
have you smelled me? Can you smell me?
No.
Usually people can smell.
I smell something over here. It smells great, whatever it is. But no, I haven't smelled you yet. What do you wear? What do you
It
wear?
might be me.
I don't know.
What are you wearing?
Misha.
Oh, I guess it's you.
Happy. I was like, oh, I want to know now.
I'll start taking lessons from you.
That was smooth.
Go on.
Very smooth.
That would have been like, oh,
Give me a
man,
word. You're gonna give me a face word. Very demure.
Ah.
What?
You have all the good words.
Oh yeah, I do.
That's
But-
word eloquent, well spoken.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Oh my gosh. Well, you put me on the spot. I have no words. I've never spoken in my life.
Please.
There's a game that my mom and I played coming back from Lancaster. It was the alphabet game, and like you have to start A for, apple, and then the next person says B for whatever. But my mom is like really smart, so she would use these massive words, and then it makes it like more fun because it's really hard to remember those things. And she has so many good words, and I have none of them.
I feel like
You
you set
actually
them
have
all up.
all of
Yeah, you
them.
do have. You have a great vocabulary.
I won't
Oh.
put you in the spot, or you'll just come up with them.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
just
later.
on decolletage.
Yeah,
That was
that-
it.
right.
That's what used for no reason. Hmm.
That was good.
Decolletage. Just whispering someone's ear.
Yeah,
Decolletage.
somebody whispers in my ear, I'm gonna laugh because I'm like,
I'm gonna
where
crack the
did that
fuck
come
up.
from?
Wait, can I cuss? I'll curse already a lot of times.
Well, it's my turn.
Yeah.
If I were a man for a day, I would fight another man and then we would go out for a beer because I want to know what that's about. Like y'all seem like you just physically fight and then
Or
like,
you
you know
living
what?
it. You watch me in
No.
movies.
I can't lie.
Oh
I hang
my
out with a lot of
God.
guys. Like my cousins and my brothers are all guys, so
You want to fight a
I'm
man?
not-
Mhm.
Yeah,
Are you gonna? Do you want to win? Or you want to get your ass kicked?
Right. Which side are you on?
I would win.
Okay.
And then you just are like, you know what, man? I was crazy. Do you want to go out for a beer? And then they're like, you know what? Yeah. And then you guys are besties. And then you're at each other's
She wants to
wedding
be
at
like
some
Cool
point.
Man.
Ah, I like that.
And then you tell the story about how, like, yeah, man, I beat your ass. But you know what? I realized as I was looking into your eyes, punching you in the face.
You're a good person. Oh, look at
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
you gotta
okay.
go
Let me
back.
take
You
it
gotta
back. You
go
know
look
what?
at
I
your
just
eyes,
realized,
punch you in the
back.
but I feel like they're allowed to have some sort of emotional breakthrough while they're like, you know what? I
Yeah.
am wrong.
Why they're
But
being
you know what?
taught
I'm going to
that.
keep doing it. You know, it's not, I don't think men like this are devoid of emotions while they're doing these
Devoid.
foolish things. I think that they just hold it in and all you see is the brute. You don't hear the inner dialogue, the inner monologue, even. You just see this guy's fighting this guy for some reason. You don't know what's going through his head,
That
if
makes me
anything at all.
I gotta stop you on that.
that makes me think like guys are having this emotional conversation
None of
in
that
the
is
back,
true.
like after they're done. You know, like,
Not even close.
It's not that I think you guys are having like a heart to heart. It's
I
just
think we're having an inner monologue while we're beating somebody up.
I mean, they're kicking each other's ass.
That's the one that's going on.
okay,
That's
maybe not
it.
while you're doing it, but like maybe afterwards. You're
No
like,
way.
you know what? I don't
Somebody's
know.
going to jail afterwards.
usually they're not friends after.
Yeah.
Usually they
There's
don't even.
blood
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't say like kill him, but
Trust me.
Just
I
hurt him
see
a
who
little.
got beat up and was like, yeah, let's go get a beer. I mean,
Oh my God, I was looking into your eyes. I realized I like you. Can we be friends?
right.
You were
Might have a
justified,
slight
man,
concussion,
beating me
but
up
It's
come
too.
on.
not on me, dude. No fucking way. Somebody's
Shake
going in the
hands.
cop car.
Yeah, no,
You're good.
no.
You won. I get it. It's cool. Beer.
all right. Well, maybe I'm thinking of ye olden days where fisticuffs was enough. But okay,
They fight like this, hands in circles.
why I gotta.
You're fucking
Let's
hilarious.
take this outside. Get proper boxing.
They take turns punching.
Thank you.
Wow. But no, sorry.
No.
Completely wrong.
For you,
Nah.
Men,
for you.
in the
Let's
comments,
ask
let
the
her know.
men
They will let you know.
for you
Honestly,
know.
we don't get a choice in what type of guy we are either. I just thought about that.
Yeah, what if we're like ugly?
Yeah, because
Like
that changes
fat.
everything.
What if
Yeah.
we have a small PP?
It totally changes because why you can't just whip
What
it
if
out.
we have
I mean, you
small PP?
can, but like,
Yeah. Nah. I want to be, if I'm going to be a guy for a day, I want my shit to be slanging.
like
Trump, huh?
I find that embarrassing though.
Elephant trunk?
Yeah, when I was
Speaking.
young, there was a guy that I met in summer camp, and I was like I feel like 7th grade ish, and his junk was massive, and
Was he
we
in
were.
seventh grade too?
I think he was just a tiny bit older than me, maybe like 1 year older than me, and we were at the swimming pool. That's why I was able to see it, and I just remember being like, "Ew," and like embarrassed by it. And even as an adult, when I thought I liked men, it still was like, wow, you can't live your life at all because like a strong breeze blows and you feel like, that was good. And then next thing you know, everybody's like, oh, pervert. You know, I love being a woman because I can be a pervert in peace and nobody knows.
You know.
So
That's awesome.
I love that. It is true. Women can be perverts in
actually
peace. You
fucking
guys
true.
can't. Sorry.
You have to change your panties a few times, but you're pervert.
Right. We have a peaceful life. I'm sorry
Yeah,
about you
it's
guys.
true.
The sentence says that. Pervert and peace.
Yeah, I am a woman. I like that.
That's really interesting. But like I said, I just want to clarify. If two guys are fighting, that's the only thing that's happening at that moment. And most likely they're not gonna be buds afterwards, at least not immediately afterwards. It may take some time, some months, possibly a year or two.
You know what? I should have clarified. Perhaps I was talking about white men. I
Okay.
watch kind of a decent amount of like true crime, and it feels like they just don't seem to understand like, hey, this person did a horrible thing, you should not be friends with them. So that's what led me to believe like you guys, they would do something like beat each other up and then be like, you know what, on second thought, this is the best man I've ever known. I don't know.
If they already know each other before the fight, they're friends,
very
then yeah,
different.
that's more
You're
like
gonna hug it out afterwards.
Yeah.
But
I don't
if
know.
they're randoms, no. Mm-mm.
I feel like male friendships in general are so fascinating because as a woman, I take time curating those friendships. I know so much about you in order to determine if I should proceed. And I feel like when it comes to men, at least you're not telling each other secrets, maybe, but you guys are just like, hey, man, I like golf. And then next thing you know, you're best buds and you start taking trips together and get really close. But if somebody were like, hey, tell me this person's middle name, you couldn't. Hey, what color is this person's eyes? You still couldn't, because you don't get that deep with your friendships. You keep it very surface level, which is why your friendships last longer, because we're like, well, she kind of winked at me weird, or she did this,
to
or
destroy somebody. That's why you guys always want to have something in your bank just in case something goes wrong. Y'all can go nuclear.
That is very true.
We don't look for that. We enjoy what it is.
So I grew up with 2 older brothers and cousins that are guys. So like I tend to hang out and connect more with guys, but I also agree. I don't try and get to know them like I would a female friend, only because we're not having deep conversations. We're like talking about movies or video games or like a show I just watched or like laughing at funny videos.
Yeah.
And like they're still a friend.
It's a juvenile type friendship.
Well,
I like the color green. You like the color
but
green.
you know what?
Besties.
I have something to say that. Okay, you said it's a juvenile friendship, but why do you separate male and female as friendships, right? When you deeply care about somebody, whether they're male or female, I feel like I am very, very close to a lot of my guy friends. I'm talking like deep. They cry to me, I cry to them, I hug them, but like, why does friendship have to be gender based, right?
Well,
literally,
coming from you as a woman, I think this conversation is a little bit difficult, and we could break it down even.
Woman.
Yes. Well, excuse me, Misha. Excuse me. Give me a second. Coming from us, especially in the lesbian space, I think this conversation takes a different turn that we could spend hours on. But when it comes to what society accepts from men, it's that they accept you don't really know too much about your friends. But women, you better know everything. She better be your.
You know what women tell you. You know what they want you.
That's what I was gonna say.
A male friend, honestly, is probably the most genuine friendship you will have because they're really trying to make you feel a certain type of way.
Exactly. There's no sort of manipulation. There's no social hierarchy. You're not in competition with each other. There was a guy I used to hang out with, and we would just go to the bars on Wednesday and drink whiskey. And we would just kind of look at each other. We didn't really have a conversation. We just enjoyed each other's company. He was not someone that I really truly had too much in common with. It was just, we said, hey, we like whiskey. Let's go out to the bar. And we would. And then plans would even be made faster than I make plans with my female friends.
But see, that's
what did you want to fill the empty space with anything, with noise or talking when you're with him?
Honestly, never, because there's nothing I felt like saying.
My girl's got something to say. I got something to say after you. I got something to say after you.
This is what I'm saying is the difference. I could just hang out with a guy and not have any expectations or what.
Shout out to Gabriel if you're on here. Gabe, one of my best friends, Gabriel. We can literally lay in a room for like 12 hours and not say a word.
My best friend is a guy, and same thing.
Ever.
Yeah, we could just.
He come here, he goes, Mish, just order some Taco Bell. Got you a taco.
And it's great when we do talk, but I don't have to talk.
You don't have to.
It's just so easy.
It's genuine.
Yeah, genuine. And I do have I have 2 best friends. One's a guy and one's a girl. So I get the both best of both worlds, right? And we don't talk all the time. It's just we're similar people in that we don't have to talk every day. But when we do talk, it's not usually about like deep things. It's just easy. It's easy. But I know the difference between making friends with a guy who's not going to ask me a whole bunch of information about myself. It's just whatever we do, whatever we're interested in is what it is.
Yeah.
Whereas some female friends that I have, we are like digging deep. We're like, what's going on in your life? What's your relationship like? You dating? It's like, I don't always have the energy for talking. And then sometimes I do. Like, it's just, I don't know.
I love it.
And not all of them are the same, so I'm not trying to lump everything the same. Genders are,
but it's also like
diverse.
There is a certain way that society socializes us as women, and I prefer having female friendships because they're almost like a Rubik's cube. You have to figure out just the right ways to go in order to maybe unlock something, even to maybe
unlock what?
Like, unlock maybe deeper parts of their personality.
But why would you want to do that?
Why not?
I mean, genuinely, why? Because I mean, I only care to a certain extent. I just don't. At a certain level, your personal life is your personal life. You want
It is.
fine, but I
I think I enjoy when, like, I have a lot of quiet friends, and I enjoy when they open up to me. And I know parts of them that other people don't. Like, one of my best friends is deathly quiet. We went on a trip to Philly for like 2 days. She probably said about 150 words total the whole time. And we were just chilling in silence together. And we actually had another woman with us who hated my best friend because she was like, she's weird. Like, she doesn't talk. What is her problem? What is her problem? And I'm like, she's just chilling.
Mhm.
But I know the deep parts of her. I know the funny stories she tells me. I know the way we connect. And when I was at her wedding, I was talking to her family and I said, "Oh, she's hilarious." And they were like, "Sorry, are we talking about the same person?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we are. But I have exclusive access that you don't. I've unlocked a level that you can't get to." I win.
It's connection.
It is.
Yeah.
I enjoy friendships with men and women in terms of the surface level of it. Like, it's an easy friendship with a man. You don't have to get too deep. You don't have to explain too much. But at the same time, I enjoy digging in deeper. And so for me personally, I prefer female relationships.
Let me ask you a follow-up question. When you're talking to male or female, doesn't really matter. Do you prefer to text or to talk on the phone? This is for everybody.
If I'm talking to a woman, I prefer to talk to her over the phone. If I'm in a friendship with a man, I prefer to just meet him in person. I'm gonna hate whatever he says through text because it's not gonna be enough. And I'm not gonna hang on the phone with him. So, because like hanging on the phone with a man to me, in my experience, feels like when a toddler grabs your phone and just starts like running around with it. There's like just random noises and you can't really see anything. You're just like, what is happening? They're like always doing something. So I'd rather just have a calm sit down in person.
So I'm just gonna say, if I'm interested in a guy for a relationship, I like to be on the phone. Not all the time. Like, if I have something that doesn't make sense to put in I'm a paragraph type texter. So you don't want me to text you this paragraph. Like, I'm gonna call you in that
No,
case.
I do.
No, no, no.
I do.
It's like paragraph,
Calling me
paragraph.
is like leaving me a voicemail. I can't stand it. I'll get to it a couple days later.
But it's rare for
Don't
me
do
to
it.
have that whole paragraph to text. But when I have the paragraph to text, I'd rather call. But I don't call very often. I don't like talking on the phone. Yeah.
I feel like I can be doing better things. Not say I don't like the person, but I can be doing better things if I'm just texting rather than talk. Because I'm going to give you pretty much all my attention if I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing else. And I feel like I'm unproductive doing that. If I'm texting you, I can be, I don't know, washing dishes. I hate washing dishes, but I can be watching TV too.
I mean,
You can do
take
anything.
breaks in between.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Exactly.
So I'm more a texter, but if it's a serious thing where I feel like I got to get the words out instead of putting in a paragraph, yeah,
Right.
call.
If it's serious.
I
topic.
think I'm a horrible texter. I mean, I'll text you, I guess, but unless you know my voice and you know how I am, like
It'll be
it's so
misread.
different. But I have ruined a lot of relationships from texting because it is not. I mean,
Reflection,
there,
isn't
I
it?
one is perceived differently,
Always.
right? And I've learned it about myself. I mean, we should probably fucking talk to each other in
Yeah.
person because I'm not good at texting. I
Mhm.
will send 10,000 run-on sentences
Yeah.
and I will say something that I think is funny, but I say it out loud. But like in text, what the fuck?
They're like,
I just insulted you, right? I'm not great at
yeah.
texting, and I think it depends on the person.
Hmm.
I think you have to connect the person that you're talking to. Certain people say, "Hey, I need a phone call.
Yeah.
I need an in-person." Some people like texting, and when you get those people that really know you and they can hear your voice when you text,
Then it's easy.
that's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
So I think it just I'm horrible. So I don't know. Yeah, I send voice notes. Hey, yo, what's
I like
up?
voice notes.
I do voice to text, which is also terrible because I misspell everything, and then somebody is mad at me because I said something like "I like you" and instead of like I don't even know.
You know what it says.
Yeah, I don't know what I said, but now I said I like you, and I'm like, oh, never mind, I didn't mean that. Like, I wasn't saying you. I was like talking. Voice to text is terrible, but
It's horrible.
yeah, don't do it. But same thing.
She's got something to say.
Oh, no. I mean, I have a long distance best friend and we send really long voice notes. And my wife is always like, why don't you just call each other? And I'm like, no, because she's busy. So she can get to this when she wants to. She can treat it like a podcast, whatever. And I listen to hers like a podcast. And we try and like remember everything each other said, but it's fine if, we forget little things. But I think it helps strengthen our friendship because I get to hear her voice. I met her right before COVID, and I didn't know her well enough to truly hear her voice through the text messages yet. And now it's getting better, but the voice notes have really definitely like helped that.
Yeah, I think anyone you want to have a real bond with, you have to have that voice before you text.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you can offend someone so easily in text and then be like, I wasn't even saying it like that. Happened to me all the time because I would get mad because I'm like, why would you say that to me? And he's like, I was just kidding. Sorry, I didn't know you would take it that way. I was like, we don't know. Like,
We don't know each other yet.
yeah, so I'm gonna take that how I'm feeling at that moment. If I'm upset about something and you just said something that was like a joke, I might take that the wrong way because I'm not joking.
That's a woman thing, and
That is
I
yes.
can't stand it. It's the most, well, not say the most, but one of the most annoyingest things ever.
That's why calling is better.
How many conversations have ended or been blocked from because of that?
Why would you say that when I'm upset right now? How could you?
Speaking of,
Worse.
one of these Colombian chicks I met when I was out in Colombia, it's a long story about her. I'll get straight to the point. But before I get straight to the point, it's funny because I actually Clark Kented this chick. Hilarious. You know what this Clark Kenting is?
It's like glasses, take them off, come back.
Sort of. So I've been there twice now,
Put
right?
a wig on.
No, I've been there twice. And the first time I met her, I was wearing my glasses. And she got mad at me for a reason I'm not going to go into right now. And she stopped talking. So I eventually started talking to her like on the socials, whatever it was. And I was back in Colombia, and I was like, "Hey, let's meet up. Let's get something to eat." I wasn't playing as if I was a different person. I was just playing as if I'm me. And she asked me, after we met, I had my glasses on, and she's like, "So have you ever been to Colombia before?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been there before. Just having some fun." She had no idea I was the same person. But
that on so many levels.
Seems like Pfizer.
Right. You stayed? Because I would have left because obviously she was trying to hook up with some guy.
no, I wasn't offended. It's just that I guess it's real that, it actually is real. Someone can look it up in Google, but people will perceive you as whatever they know you to be. And if you change something that they're not readily aware of, then they'll think you might be somebody else. I might be explaining that incorrectly, but like I said, it is a thing.
I feel like you're over intellectualizing the fact that she had a roster of men and just forgot who you were.
That's
It's
part of
quite
the
that simple.
Like,
part of the things that I was like,
she doesn't, because she's very
A Colombian woman, but she's hot as fuck.
no, she's very abrasive. She doesn't have a roster. She's
That's-
one of those chicks
men will pay for
Excuse me?
abrasion.
exactly.
So
I know.
You're telling me this hot Colombian woman, you took your glasses off and she didn't know who you were.
I didn't take them off in front of her before I met her. The
You
second
showed up.
I
time,
don't think she has like 20 men.
I was wearing my contacts.
I'm not gonna lie. So, some men like the Colombian Spanish spice of the abrasiveness and the.
Not all.
I say not that's true until you make them mad, and then. But I know guys that all they date is Latino girls, and then every time something bad happens, like where there's a miscommunication, and she lets it go, they're like, oh, I don't know why. This always happens to me. You go for that type, so you're gonna get it.
Well, I mean, I'm done with her. But the thing is, what I was getting at was,
That was my first thought, though.
after I got back, I texted her because the whole time I was there, because she was driving me around. She actually one of the ones that has a car, and she would say, what's the
This
word?
too is spicy.
I think the Spanish word is what is it? Suerte? No, or gentle or whatever it is. If anyone's Spanish knows Spanish, what's the word for
suerte
gentle?
Tune in. There's some Spanish people on there.
Yeah.
Gentle, what?
Gentle, like
No, because
I'm trying to think of the words.
that's the thing. But she kept complaining the way I would close her door, saying I was closing too hard, and I was like, I wasn't closing your door hard. So actually, after I got back, there was a clip that came into my feed on Instagram. Apparently, that's a thing that when you're there, you gotta close their doors like super soft, And I sent her this clip, and it's basically the same word she was using to me. And then she was like, "You think that's funny?" And I was like, "No, I just don't." And you said it to me, and it popped in my feed, and then it was like blocked. I was like, What the?
I thought it was funny. I mean,
Yeah.
but this also makes it seem like she has a roster. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say,
I
if
feel
she was
like
so
she
easy to
just
block you for that.
didn't like you, and because when you like someone, anything they say, you'll give it a chance.
I'll talk it out.
You know?
Right.
And
Not-
you
not
had
a-
already irritated her soul with the way you were looking different, slamming doors. Like, she was like,
Take your glasses off.
get out
How
of
dare
here.
you. How
Get
dare
this
you.
man out of here. You need to
With
leave.
gentlemen slamming doors.
Right.
Did you put a wig on?
Had long flowing gold hair.
But it is true though. We will try and fix. I don't know if that's the best word. Whatever you're doing wrong, if we really have something invested.
Right. Or we'll gloss over it to be
Yeah.
like, okay, well, that was weird, but anywho,
Yeah.
and just keep
I'll
it
say,
moving.
I kind of don't like it when you do this. I get it. That's how you are, but I just don't like it. And then
You're saying
Right.
you give a fuck. If you like somebody, you're gonna call them out on it.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't like them, you're not gonna say shit.
Right.
Basically.
But I'll block. No, I'll say something and I'll block.
But you're gonna be
them.
done. But when you care about somebody, you you're like, God damn it, like there's 99 things I love about you, but this one thing irritates the fuck out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I like you, so I'm gonna tell you about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to fix it as long as you
Don't fix it.
understand that it
I'll deal
bothers
with
me.
it.
Exactly.
Like you rub your feet in
Yeah.
bed. I don't like that.
Scratch with your toenails. No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like there's room for me to forgive.
we're not fucking perfect.
No
Yeah.
one is. That's what blows my mind when people are like, I'm looking for this, and this.
Right.
No one is gonna have every single thing that you want. So
Yeah.
that means you're never gonna find love if you're searching for this one thing. Somebody's always gonna have something you don't like.
Right.
It's just a
Yeah.
matter of, are they worth you trying to figure out how to work things
So
out?
also, when you think there's like 5 things you want in a person, and when you get all those 5 things, you hate it all.
Right.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? So who cares? Like, shut
Yeah.
the fuck up. Love people who fucking love you. God damn, what do you want? I don't know. People just want perfection, and it doesn't exist. It
That's-
really doesn't.
That's why I'm always like, when those people are like, oh, this person is so hot on their profile and they got all this and this and this, I'm like, all of this is to sell you an image of what they think you want. So like, when you meet them, they're probably not going to have all those things. So you've got to have some room for openness when you start to online date or go by profiles. It's just, it is what it is.
I want to kind of segue into a question off of what you've been talking about there. I'll just read it as I wrote it here. It may not be totally perfect, but how come when women say that men aren't enough or don't do enough, but when they are referring to other women, they are always enough and don't need to change a thing for anyone? Why is that?
I'm going to say everybody could change something.
I hear from
Like,
women like, you're perfect, you're beautiful, you're a queen, you're this and that.
Wait.
And you're talking about a dude like, he was this and he was that, and he wasn't shit.
see, I don't say
Yeah.
perfect for anybody.
Yeah, nobody's
Nobody.
fucking perfect. I
Not
mean,
one person.
I would
I
say,
think. Oh,
Will
you
you-
can go
will
first.
you-
You want to go first?
sure.
You
go
go
and say
first.
like, that ain't it, girl. Your hair's fucked up, or whatever it is, or
Yeah, I'll be like, you need to tuck that strand in because this is.
I think once again, this kind of leans into the way female relationships are structured differently
Yeah.
in terms of you don't want to say the wrong thing to your friends. So if you don't know her like that, you can't necessarily be like, oh, that's wrong. One time there was a girl who asked me if her foundation, like if she had a line of foundation where you could see her neck was different colored from her foundation. I said yes, because it was true. And I was the bad guy. So then you start to learn, lie to your friends.
no.
You
No,
just say
she's not
not,
lying.
you just
Not
saved her
entirely.
from not entirely in
Yeah.
not entirely in terms of like 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 if you had something on your face, like you
Yeah.
say that, but you learn to move softly, almost like your coworkers.
And see,
You wouldn't run up on your coworkers necessarily and be too honest. You start to get closer to
Mhm.
the point where you're like, okay, yeah, I can now feel comfortable picking that hair off your sweater because I'm close to you.
Mm.
But then I think when it comes to the guy portion of it, when you're in a romantic relationship with a man and you're saying he's not doing enough, it's because it also directly impacts you. Whatever your friend is doing, she's doing, grand larceny or whatever, that doesn't truly impact you.
Done?
No way.
I mean,
what's
she's
the
not gonna be in the
difference?
car with me, or like we're not
Right.
going nowhere.
But whatever that guy is doing is directly impacting you. Plus, you're looking at him in terms of pulling him into you intimately for the rest of maybe your life, building a life with him. So you're going to be critiquing him more than this woman who you're going to see for brunch. You're going to hang out with her. It's going to be cute and casual, but you're not raising a child together. You're not cleaning the house together necessarily. A lot of it is we just want to blindly support each other because maybe we feel like we have it so hard. Like a lot of
Productive
people,
though?
no, it's not because,
So you guys are okay with doing non-productive things for the
well,
sake of your feelings?
yes, because
What I
I'm
don't,
sorry. Go ahead.
because
Okay.
go ahead, Misha.
what, okay, maybe I'm missing something here, but what I don't understand is that we just keep separating men and women, and we are just all people.
Mm.
And I'm actually very curious, like, because you're saying that, oh, a man will do this, a girl will do this. You don't fucking know that. It's the people that you know are doing what they're doing, right?
But I think it goes along with you kind of go to the same type of people.
There you go.
Like all of our friends are going to be different friend groups
Yeah.
because we gravitate more towards a certain type of people. So like most of the friends that I have that are guys, we're all into video games and TV shows.
Yep.
And so that's why we connect. Most of the female friends I have, we connect more on an emotional, what's going on in
Let's
life.
go have girls' night, all
Right.
that.
It's because we just have two totally different types of environments and
But you
energies,
love them the same.
all the same. And I feel like we need friends of all types.
Yeah.
So like a lot of my friends or the people that I associate with can mix and match and hang out with each other. That's something that is important to me. Like even if my guy friends like video games, they still like to laugh and watch movies like my
And we'll still go to
girlfriends.
brunch with you.
Right. And so we can just have all 10 of the people of different genders together.
To answer your question though, why I break things down by gender sometimes is because society is structured through race, through gender, through age, through class, through all of these different things. And you're socialized in a way that you might not even entirely realize until you meet someone new and you're like, oh, well, they're doing it differently. So when I'm talking about breaking down the way we as women socialize, like this was all like for me, I'm a girl's girl. I like hanging out with women. I like doing quote unquote girly things, right? My wife, however, is very comfortable having friendships with men, and they have a completely different dynamic. And when I met her, I was like, okay, for example, when it came to our wedding, starting to make the wedding list, there's all these guys she talks about. They have her back, they have this, they have that, they have these great times together. And I'm like, do you want to invite them to the wedding? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, me, I pull people in. Now, it could partially be me, but I also know that a lot of times women who are more femme, we pull people in like this quickly, quickly, and to a degree, filter it later, you
I
know?
think it's like the nurturer in more feminine
Yes,
women,
and
I guess.
yeah, and you could truly like break this down and we could have a long conversation about it, but gender does matter. You are going to come across men that do things that you're like, oh, that reminds me of what, maybe the majority of women do. Or you're going to come across women that you're like, oh, she's very, she reminds me of what men do. People are going to mix and be different, but they're still the way society's structured in this box. And then there's going to be people outside of that. What I'm talking about is the general concept of the people in the box. I'm not talking about the outliers. I'm talking about the majority of people in the box. A lot of people fall into this area here. You're an outlier, and I'm not entirely. Like, for example, my wife's always laughing at me about how I'm like a professional yapper. I'll just hang on the phone with people for hours and hours and hours. I talked to Kara one day for like 4 hours, and she was like, what the heck are you talking about? But if you look around and if you were to ask, what's a common trait amongst femme presenting women, it's we like to chit chat.
Yeah.
We like to socialize.
Sure do.
If you looked at men, if you looked at cisgender masculine presenting men, you couldn't necessarily say the same. And you can take it back historically and you can look at it in terms of why maybe men don't feel the need to be so chit-chatty, but women do.
It's because some
More
golden.
Yeah.
He made a song
it's
about it.
so one of my best friend is a guy. We can sit and talk on the phone for 4.5 hours.
Same.
See?
I do have
And
guys like that. Yeah.
yeah, and there's like I don't necessarily know what we're talking about. Honestly, when we talk, we just keep going, and then it's like we should go to sleep. Nah, another thing, but I don't know what it is that makes us do that.
Right. And when I talk about it, it's not that I'm saying that women should stick within these boxes or men should stick within these boxes. It's just, I'm just stating a fact. This is factually what you see the majority of people do. Yeah, you're going to have different people, but if we're talking about it in general terms, this is why. Like, something for me that I hyper fixate on is interpersonal relationships. I work at a retail job and all I do is people watch. And I listen to people's conversations all day long. And I pay attention to these things. Like, this fascinates me. Like, why? Why do we do it? Why do we connect this way, you know? So,
Awesome. Thank you for explaining that.
I do think too part of it is how children are raised. Like if we look at society, at the I guess generations that we typically associate with, we were raised as boys do boys things, girls do girl things. You have tea parties and talk, or you play with cars, or whatever. I think because a lot of that is breaking down more now, it's so much easier to have friends of all types right now, or
Mhm.
outside of the box
Yeah.
people.
And I think too, as we connect with each other online, you start to just see other people are living differently.
Mhm.
Sometimes you forget, like, there was this trend of like, oh, when I forget I have free will. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes you find yourself sticking within these certain parameters that you're like, who even gave these to me?
Mhm.
Why am I sticking within this box? Do I want to stay within the box? Do I want to go outside? What feels authentic to me? But you found yourself there. And if you don't think about it, you're going to stay there.
Okay. So we'll take a quick pause to the cause for our little intermission. Actually, it's not an intermission. It's our little brief pause before we get to our last question of the night because we are running out of time. So if you guys have not, oops, you're not looking at me. If you guys have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And when you do hit the subscribe button, you should see something pretty cool on the screen. So if you didn't hit the subscribe, do it now. You can see something kind of cool on the screen. Also hit the like button and hit the bell button and make sure you tell people about the podcast. It's gonna get better as we go along. We're always looking for guests to come on. So if you guys were too afraid to come on tonight or the night before, whatever it was, weekend before, now you see what it's all about. It's pretty simple. You guys think it's pretty simple, right?
It's not
I
scary.
She's kind of scary.
Pretty chill, pretty relaxed.
I'll accept that.
Cool.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and of course for subscribing. We need your subscribing count. So hit the subscribe button, hit the link.
Give some questions.
Yeah, hit the questions.
Let's some questions. Come on, let's
Some
go.
interaction from you guys, from the viewers. So, thanks for listening to my little PTSA, whatever it is, PST,
PSA.
PSA. There you go, my public service announcement. Get into our last question. Do you think people are more afraid of commitment or being alone?
I think that has changed completely. People used to be afraid to be alone. I feel like now there's so many more people alone than there used to be. And so being afraid of commitment is no longer like I don't know, being in committed relationships isn't as common as being alone anymore, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of even social media, everything's teaching you uh how to be happier alone.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like everything is directed towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we need to get away from that, being happy by being alone, because it's not doing any good for for our communities and for just humans in general. Now, yeah, we're up to what is it, 8 billion people on Earth, but it keeps saying the birth rate's dropping, but at the same time, there's so much division nowadays, and
Mhm.
people want division to almost be the norm, and it's not healthy. We need to start coming back together as communities. We can be strong together and progress together. And this whole "I don't need a man" or "I need," well, men don't say they don't need women, but they are looking in different places for different women. But I think that if we always kind of brought our standards back down to a place that's more reasonable, we'd be a lot happier. Because as we were kind of talking before, you're never going to get every single last thing that you want in a person. If you do, I mean, kudos to you, but I don't think it's real. There's no tree you can go to pull down that special person that has everything that you want. They're going to have some flaws. They're going to have some things that may irk you a little bit, but you know what? You can work with them. You can work with them and make things better, make things just. It's I think that just makes things more interesting because why would you want to be with someone who with everything is exactly the same, everything's just like perfectly normal? You want a little bit of angst, a little bit of it lends to a better relationship in my opinion. I mean, if you think I'm wrong, let me know.
And just to go off of that, there's so many more relationships nowadays where they're like, oh, we're open, oh, we're poly, oh, we're this, oh, we're that. Instead of like, not that there's a problem with that, but it's more easier to be like, I can look elsewhere and I'll always come home to you. It's just a total different world.
Bodies.
Yeah, like I see a lot of those posts that is like, oh, the only guys out here are married men with looking for a side check. I'm like, is that like? I mean, it's just more common now because there's so much openness, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. You said are people more afraid to be alone or commitment? Like just going off of you, I think people are more afraid to be committed because your word society, because you think society is telling us everything, because that's what society is telling us, that it's scary to
Mm-hmm.
fall in love, because you know what, when you fall in love and you're committed, you could get hurt.
Right.
So people are so afraid of what could be, so they choose not to even take that step. So I think it's in today's society, people are more afraid to be committed. And I actually think it sucks and it's stupid because it's that oh, I'm on my own. That I don't know. They say some weird shit on I don't know. But you know how people are like
Yeah.
to be alone, they think it's cool.
That's right.
It's cool to be single and annoying and unhealed and not fucking accountable. I
Mhm.
don't fucking know, but if that's what you want. But that's what people that is actually
Yeah.
the cool thing now. I don't know. There's trends people say, but you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
It's
it is so cool to be alone and
yeah.
single. And commitment is scary because it makes people face themselves.
Right.
When you are committed to somebody, when you really love somebody, you want to be with them, guess what you got to do? You got to fucking look at yourself.
Mhm.
You got to make some changes, my guy, my girl. You got to do some things that are uncomfortable. So, yeah, people are afraid to be committed
I like
because
that you said that.
goddamn, they are going to have to grow the fuck up.
Yeah, they don't like looking at themselves.
There you go.
That's the biggest problem right now. Social media makes you look at everyone else
Except you.
except you.
And social media say, oh, single girl era, whatever. I don't fucking know what they say.
Yeah.
Hashtags are somewhere, but that's my
I would say I agree with.
ooh, she's coming.
You got some
She's
thoughts?
coming.
Some thoughts and some
She's
vocabulary.
I would say I agree with you. People are definitely terrified of commitment. I think people are terrified of commitment because they're terrified of letting someone else down as well as being let down. And so I think that's why you see a lot more of these open situations because they're like, well, if I keep it cute and I keep it light and I'm here with this person and I'm there with that person, I don't have roots anywhere. And those roots can never be uprooted because I never had them. But I think people are still terrified of being alone. I think as far as like people making it a trend to be like alone, I think it's very extremely nuanced because there are so many people who
Yeah.
do need to learn how to be comfortable
alone.
being alone. It doesn't mean you have to be alone. It means that you have an unhealthy attachment to other people and you need to consistently be in a relationship and you can't just chill by yourself. You're constantly hitting up everybody because you can't sit with your own thoughts for just 2 seconds, you know? Um and then I think the whole like when you mentioned about, women be like, "Oh, I don't need a man." That's more reactionary. That's
Yeah.
more
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely
That is
is.
reaction.
women have been let down by men, so it's a
Goes both ways.
proactive like, "Oh, I don't." Well, yes and no, but I think it's a proactive, "I don't need you because I've been hurt."
I like to reiterate, I got blocked for sending a video basically about closing the door too hard. So just throwing that back out there.
But what you do before I get you blocked?
You was slamming doors, Sean.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
Never slam doors.
No.
Hold yourself
I'm sorry
accountable
that the cards
for
are
those
made
doors.
cheaply out there.
But what I was going to say is, I think in terms of men, like you said, you don't see men saying, I don't need women. So it's not entirely the same. Women have taken this route of, I don't need a man. I'm fine on my own. I think because women held so much weight in regard to men. Like if we want to talk about it in the aspect of just cisgender women, we'll go there. With, heterosexual, I don't want to say tendencies, but they're heterosexual. Your man was everything. Your man was social currency. Your man was actual currency. He was your lifeline. And as the years have went, that's not true. So now you don't need him. You want him. And
No, you need
No,
him.
they need him.
You need
Well-
him.
no, they fucking
Yeah.
need him. They need him.
But
No.
society says you don't need them anymore because you can have a bank account. you can
Right.
have a
And
house,
that's
you
what
can
I'm
have a-
saying.
Is that bank account
You
gonna
don't-
protect you from coming in your house?
You don't, well,
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Right. Okay.
but
All the
You
girls
wouldn't know
screaming,
what
I don't need a man. I
But
don't
they
need a
put it out
man. Are
there,
the
I'm
ones
saying.
that need a man to pay their fucking bills.
So they bring a jar of pickles in here. You don't need a man in a minute. Yeah.
I couldn't
Just
open a
bang it on
bottle
the
of tomato
table.
sauce the other day, and I was like,
Exactly.
damn. I was having that
Point
thought. I was like,
proven.
I wish somebody was here to open my jar of tomato sauce.
I mean, in all goofiness, those are surface level things. I'm in a lesbian relationship. I open jars every day.
Are you lesbian? Do you have a wife?
I was like, shit, you the whole time, right?
I'm joking.
But yeah, these people, like, I used to be on Bumble BFF, and the women that I would meet were insufferable because all they wanted to talk about was their man, their relationship, what was going wrong in that relationship. And those women needed to be alone. They
What?
needed to sit with themselves. They did not need that man.
BFF.
It's to make
Why
friends.
would you put yourself through that? I'm actually very curious.
feel like
that
the-
sounds stressful. I just got like anxiety when you said
Because
that.
Mhm.
honestly, curiosity gets the best of me.
I tried it.
You know?
I didn't like it because yes, it was the same thing.
Success story, because
I
I
don't.
have one of my
I
best
was
friends.
like,
I do not.
It's like a nightmare out there, but
Yeah.
one of my best friends I met, we have the same exact name, we spell it the exact same way, and we're from Frederick, and she can rock a dark lip. She's really fabulous, and she just recently came to visit
is
us.
she single?
Yes. Anywho, we connected, but we connected because we are who we are. Like, dating apps are already horrible, but like friendship dating apps are even worse because these women are on there just wanting to drag you to their Instagram or to their social media
Just as an
platform
experience.
to be friends or to get followers, really. They're not really about it. One lady,
It's
it
not really
was like,
Frederick, though. That's everywhere.
well, yeah, right. And one
It's
lady,
kinda-
it was like 51st dates. Like, she kept forgetting what we were talking about every time, even though the message thread is there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It works if
Welcome
you
to
work
being a
it.
dude.
But yeah, I think that there are definitely a lot of situations where women do need to accept that you don't need a man to exist. Watch true crime. Y'all aren't doing it like you think you are. Somebody breaks in. I'm not hearing about these men springing into action and saving everybody. Next thing you know, it's 5 dead, a bloodbath. So, but, like, those things are sort of like silly, goofy things, like,
I'm waiting for the day when one woman gets like pinned under her car and says, "Someone help me!" And guys, says, "Nope, you're strong and independent. You got this. Figure it out.
see,
You don't need this man."
Independent. Dude, you better fucking make the car
I
up and
saw
help.
that podcast you was on. You don't need me. That's what's gonna happen.
but no,
That is what happens
Yeah,
right now.
needed is actually
Hope you don't get a flat.
not always that great of a thing, because when the need is no longer there, done. But being wanted, whether they need you or not, they still want you there. Like, let's say you want your friend to come hang out with you because you're moving. If you only needed them to help you move the couch, once that's done, okay, well, here's some pizza, get out. But if you wanted them to just
Wait.
spend time with you, they would still be there with you. Like men always resort back to this. You need me to open jars. You need me to save you from other men.
And women, y'all crazy.
Insane.
But honestly, you can't do too much against another woman because then you're going to get a charge. So you
They
need
do. I
another woman to
mean,
fight another
I
woman.
know.
I see it
It's
all the
nutty.
time. It might,
So,
yeah, there's a lot of
you know, but
Switch
you
the headache
want
y'all on.
someone you want someone to see the value in you and to see the value in having you around and having you as a romantic companion as
Mhm.
well, you know? You don't want somebody who's just like, "Ugh, I have to have a man because I want to eat pickles and I need somebody to paint my fence and I need this." Like, hire someone. Or you could do that. That goes back
Did you
to
guys catch that?
women
Eat
saying,
pickles, paint your own fence.
I don't need men. And then men are like, well, but you need me for handyman stuff. Okay, well, I can hire one of you. I don't have to sleep with you.
But
I don't have to be in
do
love
need
with
men.
you.
The fact that you have electricity in your house, that's for the most part.
That's not
I'll even say
needing.
80%, but I'm sure it's more like 90%. A lot of the tough jobs that and the things that people take not people,
Sorry.
you guys take for granted, the nice things in society and culture that you just don't even think about, those things were men. And men
No.
gotta keep society moving. We keep it the wheels
You're
turning.
Oh, we're getting into a realm that's gonna
Oh,
be scary.
oh
You're
yeah,
taking it to a
'cause
place where
they
you're
got a
like,
mom.
Huh?
Obviously, that guy has a mom. Mom
Yeah,
was
but
needed to have him.
Right.
So I'm just
period.
what I'm saying, to keep society moving, the gears turning,
But
the lights on.
I think this is very fascinating because
Mhm.
when you hear women say we don't need men,
Huh?
you think of it in terms of what have men contributed to society as far as like engineering, things like that. These women are talking
Things
about
make things easy.
in a romantic situation because a lot of times, like, I have friends in situations right now where they need to get out. They need a divorce lawyer. They need to get out. It's going nowhere. But because they hold such value in terms of just having a man in general, they're not going to get out. They don't see the value in being alone
Is the
for
man
a
paying their
little
bills?
bit. No,
The man's not doing anything.
they're
extra for-
actually no. I mean, they're married, so they're sharing things. But these are not good situations. They're not in love anymore. This man is not treating them well anymore. But because they value being with this man because he's a man and because they can say my man and they have this relationship, they
You
won't
too,
get
my
out.
man.
not to say anything, but like when I first was like, I'm getting divorced, I was like, dang, that's gonna look like I couldn't handle the relationship. Like you have all these thoughts in your mind that say it was you, but that's probably what she's going
And
through.
the other thing too is like we as women put a lot of pressure on each other to keep a man.
Mhm.
And in instances that don't even correlate, sometimes women are concerned with whether or not you have a man. I'll give you a weird example. One time I was at the beach and there was a seagull incident, and this man was trying to stab seagulls out of the sky. That's all you need to know. So I got upset because this man is out here throwing a metal pole into the sky. There's people laying out at the beach. It's gonna hit
Was he
somebody.
haunting?
I don't know what he was
This is
doing.
like, wow. This is
So he was making me mad because it was like he wasn't like good at catching it or anything. He was just chucking it. And I said, hey,
Chucking it though.
no. I said, hey, maybe if you didn't want to deal with seagulls, don't come to the beach. And now I'm enemy number one.
Yeah.
And the first thing his wife says to me is, she ain't got no man. She ain't got no life.
Why is that always a
What does that have
like,
to
Wait,
do
what
with
state were
anything?
you in?
yeah,
New
'cause
Jersey.
Okay.
that kind of explains a little bit of it.
Right.
I mean,
That is
Jersey.
a weird example, but it's an example of where a woman is placing the value of having a romantic relationship with a man in a spot it doesn't belong.
It's always
But this is so baked into the female experience,
it's an insult to
it gets
say.
ingrained in
Yeah.
your head.
We all like I said, when I was getting divorced, the first thing I was like, me, I'm the problem, even if it was like it wasn't. It was we were both the problem, and I'll just say that.
Wow.
But
That's the first time I've ever heard accountability.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. Keep it up.
even at that
Turning
point
me
in
on.
time, I was like, well, yeah, obviously I didn't meet your needs, you didn't meet my needs. We both didn't do what we
And that's
promised to do.
okay, you know.
Yeah.
We think that we own people and we
Mhm.
possess, like we don't. We get to experience people,
Yeah.
right? And I'm speaking to the fucking choir, okay? That's a
I think
long,
we
that's a
all are.
hard thing to realize. Like we do not own these people in our life. We're blessed to experience them.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work out. I don't know
And that's fine.
divorce and all that, but
Yeah.
it's deeper and it's harder. But guess
Right.
what? At least you came to the realization, like, we just didn't work.
Yeah.
And we can walk away from this on good terms.
Yeah.
I still have mad love for you,
Like
but it didn't work.
everything relationship wise has nothing to do with the person
We
that
do
they are.
not get to possess people.
Yeah.
We don't. And that's what ruins us.
And I think when I went into that relationship, we were very heavy in religion, Christianity and everything, and it was honor your husband.
Yep.
And I was
You're
like,
submissive. You're the submissive wife.
and
right?
I was like, how do I do that? Because I feel like I'm just losing all of me to make him happy. So, and I wasn't. So it was like all of my self-awareness was like,
So you were
you're
losing
not.
yourself and he still wasn't happy.
Yeah, yeah. And it was like, this is what I thought society wanted marriage to be. And then it took a lot of healing afterwards to be like, no, this isn't like, yes, I was trained to think that, but that's not reality. And that's why I say what I say about commitment is like people are afraid to think that that is all you have.
Yep.
A relationship is all your life and that's all it is. You can have multiple relationships the same way like nobody has this one person, not nobody, but some people have their one person, but a person could be for a time so you can learn that relationships don't have to be permanent. It's just yeah.
All right. I love it. All right, so that's the episode for tonight. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed our conversation as usual. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Mish. Hope you guys didn't think I came down on you guys too hard.
So rough to be here. I couldn't take it.
For everyone who's watching at home or wherever you're at, we appreciate you guys tuning in and dropping any comments you might have dropped in the. Do we have any comments?
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
The actual King Smith wrote, "People for a season is why divorces are."
That is true. But that is true because some people don't know what marriage is, really.
Yeah.
They're like, there are people I know who are like, I have to date because I have to get married.
Right.
Yep.
Why do you have to? Like,
Right.
that's how your relationship will not make it because you think it's a contractual like obligation. I
Yep.
have to do it. I'm required. And so then it is a season. It comes and goes because you did it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
D-Baz91 said, if a man can't provide monetarily, it's not enough for a woman. But if it was vice versa, a woman would be enough for a man.
True. I agree. Yep.
Let's see. And then I wrote, there's no reason for men to be alone if they have money.
Hold on. You said Shannon Sharp.
That's another episode. Sorry, got to cut you off there. Well, like I said, thank you guys for dropping those comments in there. Every week, we're getting better. Bring on new guests as well. And make sure, once again, you subscribe. You guys have liked and hit the bell so you guys get notified when we go lives. Lives are still every Saturday at 8:15. I've moved it from 8 p.m. to 8:15 because we can't get our shit together. Black people, I swear.
You tell me 7:00, I'm still gonna show up 8.
Yeah. But also make sure you guys go and subscribe to my dad's channel. It is Finances with Uncle Neb. If you guys need help with your finances, he's going to put some content out there that's going to help you guys. We only got one episode out right now. We're filming episode 2 tomorrow. So make sure you guys keep watching and subscribing. He's going to help you. I wouldn't have my house. Wasn't for my dad. Wouldn't have my new car with my dad. And the money I saved in my car. Matter of fact, I saved $20K off my car. Brand new car. $20K off the top because of him. So if you guys want to save some money and learn how to balance that checkbook and those finances, make sure you go over there, go find it right now, Finances with Uncle Neb, and hit the subscribe button. That's it for the night. Thank you guys for joining. And I am Sean, your host. To my left is
Misha.
I'm Renee.
And I'm Ashley.
all right, guys. Have a good night.